Hello everybody, welcome back to another tier list video. First one of the year, first one of 2020. I know I've said that if you guys did 1,000 likes on the last video, then you guys will get another one, which is supposed to be this one before the year ends. But at 1,000, I think like the 2nd or 1st of January. So close enough, right? So essentially the plan is here is if we hit the like goal again, and now you guys will get 2 videos instead of 1. So if you love type of videos like these, by all means, don't forget to sub a like button down below, subscribe for more content. We're doing G-Maxes today. We're doing G-Maxes today, the long-awaited video. I know everyone's waiting for this one. Everyone's waiting for this one. We're doing G-Maxes today. I got the script written out here of goated, good, mid, trash, and then I'm just absolutely distraught. So, listen, if I put a lot in goated in this one, I'm gonna apologize now for that. But also, we're gonna live edit this right now. You guys ready for this? 3, 2, 1, here. Because it kept cutting off my face, it was annoying me. Anyways, so if I put a lot of good, I'm gonna apologize. There are a lot of G-Maxes that I like, but at the same time, I was also do some G-Maxes that I just don't like. So this one may be a little bit more negatively received because there's just some I don't like. There's just some I don't. Or maybe I don't like nearly as much as others, or maybe I like them some more than others might. Who knows? But we're going to get right with it. Of course, let me know in the comments down below. What do you agree, disagree? What's your favorite one? Yada, yada, yada. Now we've got all out of the way. Let's get it. So, I think it's safe to say we should start off with a goated. Right. Let's start off with a goated. I'm going to go ahead and put Toxitricity and goated. Let's start off with a goated. He's not even released yet, dude, but he looks so cool. Plus, there's a theory right now of what is it? In Milo's town, right? The mountain that we quote-unquote thought was Eternatus actually seems to be Toxtricity that people may have depicted in history. They thought it was Eternatus. Come to find out, it's actually Toxtricity. So there's no confirmation. So there's no real way to confirm if it is actually G-Max Toxtricity or the Darkest Day. It could just be Eternatus, but it looks a lot like Toxtricity. So I think it's safe to assume that Toxtricity is one of the oldest G-Maxes. So, because Eternatus came 20,000 years ago, so who's to say that if Toxtricity is an early depicted G-Max mod, who's to say it's one of the earliest ones? You know, who knows? But I like it a lot. Design's cool. Plus, he holds a guitar, man. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. Plus, I love the eyes. He looks way more like a salamander, lizard, whatever he's based off of here. Looks way more like it. Love that a lot. Okay, let's do another good one. I'm going to go ahead and say G-Max Appletun and Flapple is good. I think it's really, really, really good. It is really cool. Now, I get what they did behind it. It has both features of it, so that's why they share one. Because it's got the big, bold apple build like Appletun, but then it's got the more snake-like, dragon-like worm aspects that Flapple has, because Flapple is literally the worm. Flapple is literally the worm, like popped out of the apple with some apple residue on his arms and body. You know what I mean? Appletun is like he's just the apple. He is literally the apple with the worm that's just gotten kind of fat. You know what I mean? So I just, or it's like, no, Appletun is weird, right? Because is his back the apple? Does anybody actually know? Because it looks a lot like it. But the apple is on the head, like a little beanie, like so. So, I don't know. Appleton's interesting. But I think it's really cool that they actually do share one. Now, it's a little unfortunate. I wish that they actually did have a separate one. I get why they share one. Trust me, I do. I get it. But I still wish that they did have a different one. It'd be really cool. A version exclusive. Because we have version exclusive G-Maxes. So it'd been really cool if we had a version exclusive one. Because this one looks more like Appletun, I guess. Because Appletun really has that big body build. You know, and Applin versus if Flapple had one that was, you know, primarily the worm, W-Y-R-M, the worm, that'd be really cool. But I like it still regardless. I love it. It's one of the first G-Max ones I actually caught that you can catch accessible in the wells. So I like it. I do. I really do. This is gonna be rough. So there may not be a lot in mid. Okay, to tell you guys this, there's gonna be a lot in good, a couple in goated, decent amount in maybe a few in trash. Mid, I don't know, because I can kind of pick between the two, you know? You guys want to hear a mid? You want to hear a mid? Meowth. I don't think Meowth is nearly as bad design-wise, as people say. He's a one big long boy, but I love the kanji that's on his coin, which is just representing big. It just translates to big, to giant. Gigantic, I think, is what it actually translates to. So it's really cool, actually. I like the creepy look that he has in his eyes. They glow. You know what I mean? I actually like G-Max Meowth. I like his back is actually hunched, too, in battle. So I actually like it. Maybe it's because I actually like Meowth in all of its variants. I actually am a big fan of Meowth. But I maybe it's because I'm a big fan of Meowth. I think it's mid at worst and at best. But that's just me. Another one at mid is Copperajah. Like, Copperajah, I really like Copperajah. That's the only thing saving it from being That is the only thing saving it from being one tier below this. I actually really like Copperajah, but what really ruins this is the fact that he's just one giant wall. He's a wall with a trunk face and stubby feet. Imagine if it was some really cool, like, gargantuous elephant. That'd be sick. But no, with some robes on it. That'd be really cool, but no, he's a wall. And I think he's a wall because my man's based off copper. You know what I mean? I mean, to see you in Cupid is literally copper. So it's literally based off copper. But, man. Dude. Man. Unfortunate, huh? That he just has to be a wall. My man's got to be just a wall. So it's a little unfortunate, man. It's going to bum me out. That's really the only thing kind of destroying him. Now, I'm sure everybody else probably puts him down here. Probably puts him in trash. But the fact that he is still Copperajah is what's going to carry that enough, but I might change. Okay, keep watching the video because I might make some changes. He might drop. We'll see. Being real, Lapras is just Like I know. I'm sorry to give people a hate on this, but okay. So the fact that the shell ends up becoming a boat, it's not as cool as you'd suspect. I think the boat's actually SSN. I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, we're all sitting here saying it's a Titanic because there's ice around it. It's an ice-type Titanic collided into an iceberg and sank, but I don't know. It could... What stops it from being SSN? Lapras is the Gen 1 Mon. SSN is originated in Gen 1 Kanto. So what stops it from representing SSN? It even looks like it, does it not? So it could just be a boat, but, I mean, Pokemon boats... Could be this. I mean, it could be the Gen 5 boat too, because Gen 5 got a lot of love. But doubt is probably the Gen 1 boat SSN. But I don't know. Like, I don't like the thick neck. Not a big fan of that. It seems too. Listen, I know you guys can probably get on me for this. It seems too similar to regular Lapras. But next is Meowth is just literally regular Meowth, but taller. Okay, but come on, that does not look like normal Meowth. At least there's some obvious difference. This is just Lapras as a boat. To be fair, you could just stay with Meowth. Meowth's just tall and skinny, but I don't know. You know what I mean, though? Like, okay, you get intelligent people. You get what I mean, right? Like, it's literally just Lapras with a boat. But the Meowth is just... But then, okay, I'm confusing myself now. You get what I mean, all right? I don't think it looks that good. I don't. I mean, it's pretty. The thing I like about it, though, is the music note. Because Lapras is like the quote-unquote face for Parish song, the move. It's the face of it. So I like that it has a Parish song sheet, like a musical notes right there, like coming around its body. So it's really cool. Then it's such a move Orbeetle around it. It's cool, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Same with G-Max Alcremie. Not a big fan of G-Max Alcremie. It's just one large giant cake. It's just Alcremie the cake. I don't know. It's gonna still look good. Like Meowth. It's just, I don't know. It's just Alcremie the cake. You know what I mean? It's just Alcremie the cake. I don't dislike it because it'd be trash, but I don't like it. What I mean, I mean, I don't like them nearly as much as everything else above it. You know what I mean, guys? So, yeah, it's just Alcremie the cake. You know what? I've been crapping out a lot. Let's give you guys another GOAT. G-Max Gengar. G-Max Gengar is really cool. I mean, there's an endless black hole in his mouth. That's so cool. I don't know, man. They always like do something really cool with Gengar. I mean, out of all the Gengar variants, Mega might be my least favorite, but then it's Chinese Raw. It's Chinese Raw. I really do hope they actually give Gengar like an alternate form. You know what I mean? Like, Gengar's been getting a lot of love. I mean, he gets a Mega, then he gets the Gigantamax form, then he gets a freaking... He didn't even get a signature Z move. When they showcase off the GZ move, the GZ move. When they showcase off the Go Z move, they show Gengar. So... Gengar is one of those mons that I wouldn't really mind if he got like a regional variant thing, but Gengar usually has a gimmick. You know what I mean? He typically has a gimmick. I think last generation he wasn't the biggest fan of because he got no gimmick and he lost Levitate. So he actually wasn't the biggest fan of. So there was one whole generation where Gengar was not given love. One whole generation, all right? Otherwise, Gengar is typically loved. He's one of the most popular Pokemon ever. He is the most popular Ghost-type Pokemon. Mimikyu is the only Ghost-type Pokemon, which I think for a small moment of time, it actually was more popular than it. I think even right now, Mimikyu's popular than it. I haven't checked as of recent, but there was a small portion of a year where Mimikyu was more popular than Gengar, which is to be expected. But I like Gmax Gengar. I like it a lot. It's also one of the strongest Gmax Mons. Keeps giving stuff the boost with Gmax Sludge Wave, you know what I mean? Oh, man. Then it's pretty much like Arena Trap with its Gmax moves, so it's pretty interesting. Another good Gmax Mon. This Mon doesn't get enough love. Gmax Kingler is good. It doesn't get enough love. He's got a cool beard. He looks scarier than regular Kingler. I mean, look at all the giant claw. His feet, they're looking larger. He's standing up more on them, dude. The eyes, man. Like, he looks way cooler than regular Kingler. And I already love regular Kingler. I do. I loved it even before Ash had it on his team in the general anime. But I love Kingler. I don't think he gets enough love. It's just not that good. It's not. It's not that good in comparison to other Gmax mods, but it keeps the sheer force, so it's slept on, I think. I think it's slept on. You know, I think it's slept on. It keeps the sheer force since, you know, Gmax mods do keep their abilities. So, because we went into it thinking that they'd be more like Megas, where they have different stats, different abilities. Come to find out, they're literally the exact same thing as Dynamax, just having signature moves. So they have Gmax moves, like Gmax Snooze, Grimmsnarl. So, yeah, Kingler's really cool. Speaking of Grimmsnarl, another GOAT! Come on, man. You guys remember everybody thought that this was actually going to be Gmax Eternatus? I was one of the first few people that said Gmax Grimmsnarl is a GOAT. It is clean, and that's definitely Gmax Grimmsnarl. That has to be him. But off rip, I said this mod is broken because it's Yawn. Gmax Snooze, it's Yawn. It has a busted typing. It's become double the bulkier. His typing already makes him already bulky enough, dude, and he bulks himself with freaking bulk rest talk. My dude is tanky, or with screens. He finds ways to make himself tankier, so just double the HP on that. Look, man, that's easily one of the best Gmax mons competitively. But not to mention as well, too, Gmax move is probably the best Gmax move. Obviously, it's not like Max Airstream, but IMO probably the best. Either him or Melmetal, because Melmetal is Torment. Or even like Duraludon is pretty good because it depletes your PP on a move. So that's pretty convenient as well, too. Or Pikachu's. Pikachu's great, too. But, I don't know. I think Grimmsnarl's up there for being one of the best. But Grimmsnarl's design looks sick already. So to see this Gmax really bring out the amazing design in Grimmsnarl. I love it, boys. I love it. Wait, yeah. I love it, man. I love it. 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 Just a lot that I think is good. Like, I think another one mid is Sandaconda. Like, it looks cool. I like the head on it. But it's a tornado. He's supposed to represent a sandstorm. Because even his ability is Sand Pit. The entirety of this mod is sand. He is the embodiment of sand. He is a sand snake. My man is literally Gara's Gourd, the Pokemon. So, and then his Gmax even looks more like Gara's Gourd. So, well, his regular form looks more like it. But, I mean, it embodies more of the aspect of sand with his Gmax form. So, if you love sand and you love ground type, this is literally the mod for you. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it being a tornado. Not a big fan, guys. You know, like, I was really hoping to be some really cool King Cobra shit, but I'm not a big fan of the Gargantuous Tornado. Not a big fan, but I also don't hate it because the head looks cool, and I love the sprite of it, because if you actually see the sprite in your party, it looks really cool. So, Sandaconda. Sandaconda's all right. You know, he's all right. He's all right, man. Sandaconda himself is all right, man. He's all right. So, I think it fits best in just all right. Gmax Centiskorch. Raw, clean. I don't really need to speak about this one a lot because it's obviously one of the most common Gmax ones we've seen. Doing the Den raids, the Den exploit. It's the most obvious one that you've seen. It's the most common you've seen. Also, it's also it's actually the first Gmax mod you see in the game, because the third gym leader is the first guy to start using Gmax mods, which I guess I get it. I mean, because D-Max Drednaw is actually a lot better than Gmax Drednaw, because Gmax Drednaw just puts up rocks and D-Max puts up the rain. So, swim. So, I get why Nessa didn't have Gmax, Drednaw, to make it harder. I get why, but I don't know. I guess for quality purposes, I guess I would have loved it. I'm stroking out, but you guys get my point, all right? TLDR, I like Geomax, I can't speak, guys. I just can't. I like Centiskorch. Moving on. So, man, this is gonna be interesting. So, G-Max Coalossal is also just like he's like mid because he looks really cool. He looks cool. He's just a giant mountain, but I love the lava that's in it. The lava that's in it, the lava that's dripping off, dude. His mouth is like this internal lava. Like, he's a mountain, of course, but I think he's actually a volcanic mountain, and it looks really cool, dude. Like, the insides are like the actual coal churning and... You know, a lot of people are like, all right, you know what? Coalossal, we get it. You want to look the way you do, but G-Max Coalossal should have been a train. Listen, I get it because the UK is, you know, they love trains. They're well known for that. And then not to mention as well, too, like everything about the mod speaks train. You put coal instead of a train to choo choo choo. You know what I mean, dude? But I guess wasted potential. But I like it. I do. It's mid at best, mid at worst. I like it, you know? G-Max Orbeetle. Oh, come on, bruh. He's a UFO. That looks clean. That actually looks really cool. Sorry if I'm drinking a lot. I'm dehydrated. I did chug water, but now I want some flavor. But G-Max Orbeetle is really cool. Orbeetle himself is already a really cool mon. The fact that it's a UFO, I'm not a big fan when it comes to inanimate objects. But if they do inanimate objects like really well, then I'm a big fan of it. You know what I mean? And they did this inanimate object, a UFO, really well. So I love it a lot. Love it. And the shiny is clean. I feel like they kind of ruined it. Like G-Max Drednaw, I feel like they kind of ruined it. I don't like the foreskin coming on his neck right there. Not a big fan of that. He's hidden. Imagine if he was a really cool, tough-looking, like, alligator snapping turtle. You know what I mean? Like, even a bigger mouth. It'd be really cool. But they just, like... What is this? This is, like, 90% shell. 98% shell and 2% face, arms, and legs, and tail. What is this? You know? Like, what is this? I'd have put you in trash. I don't know, my opinion. Because Drednaw is such a cool mon that this is such a letdown. You know, like, I'm not the big... Yeah, it's got to go in there because I actually do like Lapras and Alcremie more. You got to go in there. I'm sorry, man. You got to go in there. Other one, not a big fan of Eevee. It's just Eevee, but fluff. So, e-girls, ladies, I'm sorry because I know everyone was wilding out. Everyone was wilding on this. It's also one of the worst G-Max mons, so a lot goes behind it. It's just not that good. G-Max Corviknight's just mid. Like, it's just Corviknight, but big and red underwings below it. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they could have done more to it. You know, like, it looks cool. Okay, just because it's a mid doesn't mean, like, it looks bad. It looks cool. It's probably the most controversial one because people will be like, how do you have Copperajah the same as Corviknight? Corviknight's so much cooler. Listen, it's just that Corviknight is it's the most simple one. Obviously, if we're not going to include Eevee and Meowth, if we don't include Eevee and Meowth, Corviknight is the most simple one. He's more simpler than Lapras, because at least Lapras has a boat on it. Corviknight is just giant Corviknight. That's actually just it. But red. That's actually just it. I think G-Max Machamp is clean. Love that guy. He's a goat. I like the lava on his arms, dude. You know what I mean? Because I think it's supposed to represent heat. Because, you know, if you punch so fast, you have heat on it. So it looks really cool. I like that a lot, man. I mean, he's tough. I mean, he's a lot skinnier than actual Machamp. So, you know, he's definitely... At least this Machamp hit leg day. This Machamp hit leg day. You know what I mean? This Machamp definitely hit leg day. Pikachu? Oh, man. Listen, you guys might hate me for this, but... Goat. Goat, man. Goat. Who doesn't like fat Pikachu? And the cry? And the fact that he can paralyze ground types? Like, come on, man. He's got a gimmick to it. He's not a trash G-Max. He's a gimmick to it. Some people are like, oh, but he's basic looking. It's fat Pikachu, man. That's the point. All right? Come on, man. It's fat Pika. How do you hate fat Pika, man? I really... Listen. This might be a hot take. Right? First off, let's get some others out of the way. G-Max Duraludon's just mid. It's just a giant... I think it's based off Rose Towers in Wyndon Stadium, is it not? Some people told me that it wasn't, and that it's based off a tower based in the UK. But that might be looking too deep into it, because at that point then, right, isn't that an actual place in the UK? I'm sorry, I lived in the UK for about 2 years, but I was like, what, 5 years old? And then I left when I was 7. So I don't remember much, and that doesn't really count because I didn't really do any traveling. I was freaking 7. But I'm pretty sure, right, let's do the timeline lore here, right? So if the Rose Tower is based off an actual tower in the UK, that would mean that Duraludon is based off the Rose Tower and the Battle Tower. Then that means that that Battle Tower and Rose Tower is based off a tower. So we're saying the same thing. I've had a lot of comments in my playthrough. They're like, oh, Duraludon's not based off Rose Tower. It's based off a tower in the UK. We're saying the same thing because the tower that's in Winden is based off the UK. So we're saying the same thing in different ways. You know what I mean? So listen, we're saying the same thing. You don't need to say be extra to sound smart, but regardless, I think he's all right. I think he gets way too much hate because they're like, oh, he's just a tower. It looks like, have you seen his face? If you zoom in, it looks tough. He looks clean. The arms look cool, dude. I like the crystal right there. I like that part a lot. So I think it looks tough. I think it looks tough. A lot tougher than Eevee, Lapras, and Alcremie. So we can say that at least. And definitely Drednaw, the worst Gmax, man. What do they do to you, my guy? What do they do to you, my guy? Nobody runs this mon. It is actually, it's just bad. Nobody runs it. Nobody runs it. But, who's next? I don't think, listen, here's my hot take again. I think Garbodor is mid. I think people hate on way too many Gmax designs. You know what I mean? I truly believe that they do. I believe that people hate on too much just to hate. Like Garbodor, for what he is, because people are biased when it comes to Garbodor. They don't like Garbodor already, so they're going to hate his Gmax. His Gmax does have cool things, so I think that's the boat when it comes from black and white. He has a Master Ball in it, dude. He's got a lot more to him. It's really, really cool, man. There's a lot of design that went behind it. It's really cool. Plus, Garbodor, I will say to the day die, he has way more design and way more originality than Muck ever will, because Muck is literally purple cum with a face. Versus Garbodor, he's actually a cool swamp monster. He's a swamp sewage monster. It's really cool. I'm saying swamp. He's a sewage monster. That's cool. I've always been a fan of that, especially when I used to see him in Scooby-Doo. I've loved the sewage monsters. And Garbodor actually looks really scary. He looks really scary. Plus, the lore comes up behind Oleana, her imperfections, and one of her first early mons is a Trubbish, and she kept this to remind her, I guess to remind us as the players, she's still not a perfect character. So it's really cool. I forgot there was a deep lore concept I was reading somewhere about Oleana, and that makes so much sense. I was like, wow. But no, I think this mon gets way too much hate. Like him and Duraludon get way too much hate. Same with Meowth, they get way too much hate. When it's like, there's worse. There's worse. There is worse. IMO at least. I think the cake is worse. The cake has got cool design to it, but I don't know. I feel like the only one I'd probably get hate on in this video is Alcremie. Like, I don't know anybody that talks. Nobody talks about Eevee. Nobody does. And people are not a fan of Lapras, at least from what I saw. So maybe opinions have changed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If I get the Warriors to come after me, the Eevee knots, guys, defend me. Yes, please. Let's see. Hatterene looks creepy, but I'm gonna put it in good. I like it. I like it a lot more than I do Hatterene. I think Hatterene as a mon is really grummy. When I first made that video of all the mons that I like, I made a tier list of ranking all the mons that I like, the decks in the game. It'll be in the description. It'll be in the post calls, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like in the cards, in the end of the video. You know what I mean? But there's a whole playlist for tiers, by the way, if you guys want to watch all the tiers I've done. But I was not the biggest fan of Hatterene when I first saw it. And then it really grew on me, probably because I've been using it a lot to ladder and OU, and it actually looks really cool, like it does. And I've been using his Gmax a lot recently too, and it looks really cool. Like I used Gmax the other day in Ubers, and it looks really cool. Like it actually looks really cool. So at first, when we saw this, we all thought it was Malamar, and I mean, from a distance, does it not look like Malamar? Like, you can't see the face much here. It looks like Malamar, doesn't it? A little bit from a distance, but it's actually not. So maybe it's because of the tentacles and the body is why we all thought that it was Malamar, like a pink Malamar, but it looks really cool. It looks really creepy, and I like that about it. There's only one more goated left, guys. Can you guys guess? There's one more goated left. Snorlax. I think Snorlax is, I'm indifferent because I like Snorlax, and I think it actually looks really cool for what he is. He's a giant, like, forest on him, and I was a big fan of Torterra. So, because Torterra has a giant island on his back. So, Snorlax, which I would assume is quadruple 50 billion times the size of Torterra. This is dead ass, like, an entire, like, forest. This is, like, more representing a forest, a village of something, of some sort, right? So, where Torterra is an island, and he's a lot smaller, and Snorlax, I think, is a forest, he's a village. But, I I don't know. I think he's just all right. I'm from in mid. He's not good enough to be up there, you know? Like, we're definitely going to make some changes in the video here, guys. But as a change right now, Copperajah, dropping that down right there. I think Copperajah, like, I was like, I really tried, guys. I tried. I'm like, dude, maybe there's a bias talking. I really tried when it came to liking just Gmax Copperajah. Man, dog. I think the only thing cool about it is the sprite. Otherwise, no, dude. They've just, no. It's just a giant wall. It is a giant wall. I tried liking it. I did. See, I told you my opinions are going to change towards the end of the video, but I did. I tried liking, but man, dude. Man, also Sandaconda, come down. Come down, dog. Come down. Come down, bro. The Coalossal is face carries. Like, I'm not a big fan of the body, but everything neck up, the mountain, the face, the thorns, love it, dude. Love it. Corviknight also come down. It's just big Corviknight. Not a big fan of that. Nah, I felt they could have done more. I felt they could have done more to it. I mean, Meowth also come down. Look at it. I'm just bringing all these. My opinions are changing. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I forgot some mons truly do get Gmaxes because some Gmax mons are purely just irrelevant. And they're only locked in story plot, like Garbodor and Coalossal and Duraludon being the biggest three. Nobody runs these three as Gmax mons in the meta. Nobody does. At least Snorlax, he's starting to be ran more a lot in VGC. So, plus his Gmax is pretty good. Bringing back the berries, pretty good. But I gotta bring them down. I do gotta bring them down. I have to bring some down. You know what I mean? We'll have to bring some up. I want to eat Alcremie. Alcremie is the only one I'm contemplating bringing up. But whatever. We'll keep going in the video. Charizard, I think he's just mid as well, too. I'm personally not the biggest fan of Charizard, but this is probably the best designed Charizard has ever gotten. Like, at first, I thought it was Megazard X. Megazard X, that's a GOAT, bro. I would die for Megazard X. Even though I don't like Charizard at all, Megazard X, the kid in me does. But, you know, I think Charizard, he looks really cool. I think this is definitely his best rendition. Can't lie. Still Charizard. I'm not being biased, I promise. It does look really cool. It does. But I just think everything above it looks really cool. You know what I mean? But he is different enough from actual Charizard. He's severely different enough. He's like Charizard on fire. So he's severely different enough from Charizard. And it's a really cool design. I can't front. Like, as a non-Charizard fan, he's a really cool design to it. That might be my hot take. People generally put Charizard here or here, but that might be a hot take. Butterfree, I also think Butterfree is mid. Like, I think this mon, competitive lovers, I think as we can speak and collectively come together, we love this mon because Gmax Flapple is crazy. That's a crazy move. Gmax Flapple is crazy, but it's clean. It's clean. I like it. I love the wings. It's so pretty, dude. I really love it. I really love the sprite as well, too, because the sprite really shows off more of the colors, but man, really love it. And last but not least, my biggest hot take, Melmetal goated. My biggest hot take. Number one, I wasn't the biggest fan of original Melmetal. The Melmetal grew on me as I used it more in Pokemon Go and as I used it more in Let's Go. You know, I didn't really try it out that much. And then I've been running him lately on Showdown in random battles when I get them. Because, you know, random battles allow these mons because it's random. They're preparing for when Pokemon Home comes out for these mons to be legalized and released. But, dude, he's so cool. He's like Registeel, but cooler. He's so cool. And the Gmax really just, you know, I was already like on the fence. I was like, you know, Melmetal, like original Melmetal is like right here for me. Out of the plethora of legendaries in the decks. He's a mythical mon. But out of the legendaries and the mythical mons, he's like right there, middle of the road. But dude, Gmax, he looks like a warrior. He looks so cool, man. He looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. He looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, man. That's my hot take, guys. I know I may get a lot of criticism and a lot of negative feedback when it comes to that. But that's my hot take. I think these are the best 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 favorite Gmax mons right here. They're really cool. Now, do I want to change any as I've actually sat down here? Yes, I want to bring up Butterfree because Butterfree is really cool. I actually really like Butterfree. I want to bring down Coalossal. And because the lava is really cool and the face is really cool, but I don't like the big build down there. I'm not the biggest fan of it. You know what I mean? Nah, I think that's it. I think I'm a lot more confident now in this list. I think I'm a lot more confident now in this list than I was originally. So changes are good. Changes are good. I told you there's going to be a lot that I like. There's a lot in good. See? And I told you guys there's a lot in just eh. So, like with megas, you know, there's some megas that just like it, some megas that don't. Obviously, guys, these went purely based off design. If you guys are going with a based off of, I mean, if competitive are going to play, then, I mean, what? Then Copperajah will be a lot higher. Eevee be like probably a lot lower. Charizard be a lot higher because Gmax Charizard are actually really good competitively. Ting will be lower. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But these are purely based off designs, and I wanted to only purely based off designs off of initially when I first saw them, and now almost a 2-month mark. But I really loved making this video. I did. Guys, let me know what you want to see next on the tier list video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see next for me to do a tier list discussion video on next. Sorry, videos end up being a little long. I've been making these videos a little long lately, but it's January. It's tough rad river news, so support the boy, support the kid. And I just ramble on a lot. I do. But thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to me. You guys love these type of videos and you support it so much. So your support really does mean a lot to me in my warm, fuzzy heart. If you want to see all of the tiers I've made in a playlist down below, there's a playlist on it. Watch the next videos after this. With that, let me know what you want to see next. Do you agree? Disagree? Do you hate? Do you love? Let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.